Put the hat on, mate.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're having a great Monday. It's also, for those who love American football, it is Super Bowl day. As you could probably see from this vlog, we have already been spending the early part of this morning in preparation for today's game. So Ryan, who his Instagram links is here, he's been smoking since about 1 o'clock this morning. I woke up to an amazing smell of smoked brisket, and in turn now I am trying not to eat until lunchtime because I don't usually break my fast for the day until then. So let's see how strong this willpower is. Anyway, I just thought I'd take the quick opportunity while the house is quiet behind me, just to say a quick hello and share my thoughts with you. As you can imagine, I've got a whole bunch of people inside who are cheering on that game, and they've promised to give me a few minutes out here without any interruption. So I really appreciate that. Thank you all inside. So anyway, moving on to today's thought. I was just reflecting on the 100 subscribers that this channel has received over the last couple of weeks that I've been vlogging, it's really meant a lot to me to see the support that everyone's showing me. I do understand that there's most likely quite a few of you who are my friends, and I really appreciate that support, you investing that little bit of time in this little project of mine. But also to those who I do not know personally, I just want to say thank you for for giving me an opportunity to be able to share my life with you a little bit. It really does mean the world, and I hope that as this channel evolves, that you'll take away something from it. Further to that, I was thinking about the giveaway, and of course that giveaway is still there, and I will announce the winner of that next Saturday my time, so do look out for that. And again, it's still running, so definitely watch the video and follow the instructions there if you would like to enter that giveaway. I'll definitely encourage you to do so. But yeah, in regards to that, I was thinking about the economy and finance and digital assets and that space, being that I'm giving away XRP as part of that giveaway, which is, not a lot of people know what XRP is and what digital assets is, really, I don't think, and I think that maybe the most people would associate with digital assets would be Bitcoin. And even then, I mean, Bitcoin, people who know of Bitcoin, who have heard of Bitcoin, probably don't have any idea what Bitcoin really is and why it's so popular today around the world. And I thought I might just talk about this space a little bit because it is one of those interests that I do have, and in turn, maybe you'll take something valuable out of this, and you may even consider doing your own research and looking into this new asset class, because I certainly do believe that there is quite a bit of opportunity there, and that you could most definitely capitalize on. So talking about digital currencies and in particular my Bitcoin, what digital assets are, well, my understanding of what they are is, well, in essence, it's blockchain, and I guess it's creating a metric of value on an individual blockchain. And cryptocurrencies, I guess, are the tokens, the currencies that are utilized on these blockchains in order to transfer value. Now I know that's probably it's a very general statement, and again, I'm not a professional. It's just my understanding of it, and obviously different blockchains do different things. I don't know too much about many of them. When it comes to the digital currencies that I am familiar with, most familiar with, that would be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Tron, and a little bit about Cardano and VeChain. Now, when I say that I know about these assets, a little bit more about these digital assets, it means that I know more than their name. I've actually invested some time in researching these businesses and what they are and what they do, and it's really quite interesting. Quite interesting, scary, a lot of unknown, especially for me, someone who's not tech savvy at all. But I can certainly see the opportunities that these technologies present, and I can see the use cases that are being developed on these networks. So it's certainly something to keep watching closely. Looking at the economy as a whole, like one thing I have noticed is the world seems to be going through a situation where liquidity is a problem. And we're seeing around the world, especially with COVID, but understanding that the liquidity issues that I've seen were before COVID. We had a situation, I think it was around September of 2019 or a little before then, where the repo markets in the United States, they just ran out of liquidity. And the Federal Reserve over there had no choice really but to provide liquidity for the markets over there. Otherwise, the entire market in the United States would have collapsed, and the world, because the world is absolutely reliant on the greenback as it is the international reserve currency. Okay, so being that these problems are already presenting, and we already saw that over the last 15-20 years, we've seen a decline. And we've had situations present in that time that have acted as a great distraction. Obviously too, we had the GFC back in 2000. People say 2008, 2009. I say 2007 because that's where I saw it happening. I started really seeing it unwind, and in turn, we've seen then cycles. We've seen unprecedented growth in the markets since GFC, and that's my understanding is that all of that's due to the quantitative easing that's been happening for some time, which now I think places us in the current situation where the world's losing faith in their national currencies. Okay, and what we're seeing now is with coronavirus, the economy in essence really came to a standstill. So in turn, I feel as though the government has, as a means of protecting their economies, they've really gone to all lengths to provide money for the economy, and they've gone into printing, quantitative easing. They've been boosting the markets, even here in Australia. Like one thing that I notice is, we have a booming housing market, which is extraordinary given the current situation, our employment situation. Sees what the economy is. We were officially in recession. For the shortest recession I've ever seen, and maybe it's not even 6 months or thereabouts, but the housing market was still booming during a recession. These are unprecedented things, and it's because there's a lot. The Australian economy is very much propped up on housing, so it's been mining and housing, and mining is something the government has very little control over, because obviously that's a supply and demand thing that they can't control. But when it comes to housing, they can, which is why they're throwing as much stimulus into the housing sector, because again, if they can control the demand or encourage the demand, the supply the private industry will supply, and that's what we're seeing, which to me is again another indicator that things aren't really great, and it will only, I think, only hold for so long. I think as a result, a lot of people, though they may not be so financially intelligent, they are the fact that the people who aren't financially intelligent are seeing things, that aren't marrying up. In turn, I think they're looking at ways to hedge their position and protect their wealth. And I think that, we've seen over the last 24 months, we've seen, metals go through the roof, like gold and silver and rhodium and all those, other commodities. They've been, people have been investing, and holding these in order to protect their wealth. Digital currency, which has been around now, I think, for a while, so at least a decade. We're seeing things like Bitcoin jump to all-time highs, like over, I think it's hit as high as 42,000 US dollars. For what? I mean, a lot of people don't even understand what Bitcoin is, but they're hedging their positions in it because they believe that it's safer than the fiat currency, that the US Australian dollars or US dollars or whatever they're holding. And that's a scary thing. Like, I think that at the moment now, our central bank here, the Reserve Bank of Australia, I mean, they're going to do everything they can in order to protect the economy, and I would honestly expect to see Australia in negative interest rates before the end of the year. And the fact that there's lows they are now is unprecedented, but I do believe it will go negative. And I think that'll be a sad day. So I think that, I think we're seeing, a lot of interest in these in the digital asset sector, especially as a result. And I think more will come. And is it a investment class that's here to stay? I believe so. I think that there's a lot of rubbish in the digital asset space, and I think that this is where your research and that is really important. You should research everything before you should know what you're investing in. I think there's a lot of rubbish there, but I think that there are quite a few technologies that really do have a lot of promise, and I think that there may be some opportunities there to maybe invest a little bit of what you would normally be saving or investing in conventional assets, and it might be worth maybe putting a little bit aside in that space. I'm a big believer of what's happening there, and I think it's just definitely something to consider anyway. So look, I will leave it there. I hope this is interesting to some. If not, I'm sorry. I'll try and do something a bit different next time. But look, I'm going to go and join the rest of the guys and watch the Super Bowl. Now, just saying, also too, Super Bowl. I'm not a Super Bowl guy. American football's not my thing. But one of my values as a person is community and family. And a big part of an important thing to my community is American football. So I've got my American Under Armour t-shirt on, and it's the only thing that I have that's kind of American. And I'm going to sit down and enjoy the company of the people who have made the effort to come here and spend the morning watching the Super Bowl. So anyway, yes, I will leave it there now. But thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I look forward to catching up with you again. Take care. Bye for now.
Mahomes might still be the future. Brady looks like